Hey everybody in the vinyl community, it's Steve from Steve Spins Records, and today we're going to look at The Real McCoy by McCoy Tyner. So this was something that I checked out as part of the Tone Poet 2020 series. It is not a Tone Poet, but it is in fact a Blue Note classic reissue, audiophile vinyl reissue, mastered from the original analog tapes, mastered by Kevin Gray at Coherent, and manufactured on 180 gram vinyl. So again, what we're going to do today, we're going to look at the package, what came with it, what's in the box. We're going to talk about the album itself, any fun facts about the artists on the album or tracks on the album, and then we're going to talk about who this music might be good for, what you might want to do while you have the music on. So with that in mind, let's get started. Here again, you see the front of it. It's got a nice kind of stylized The Real McCoy. There you see McCoy Tyner relaxing by the piano down below. On the back, you've got the track listing as well as a review from Nat Hentoff. And then, yeah, the cover photo was by Francis Wolff, cover designed by Reed Miles, so another Reed Miles Blue Note cover. And the recording was done by Rudy Van Gelder of Van Gelder Studios in Hackensack, New Jersey. So, with that in mind, let's get into some of the history of the album. So, yeah, again, packaging, nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. It's not a gatefold. Maybe they didn't have any photos of the recording while it was happening. You know, it's not that big of a deal for me, but if you were looking for something that had a gatefold that is not part of it, I think it might be slightly less expensive than your Tone Poets. Again, you see the nice Blue Note label there. Very same thing on the back, 33 1/3 RPMs. And I've got a MoFi sleeve. I think it came with a decent polyline sleeve, but don't quote me on that. I can't remember if it did or didn't, but I've again shucked out whatever it came with and put it in a MoFi. So some fun facts about the album. This is McCoy Tyner's 7th album. He is on there along with Joe Henderson, Ron Carter, and Elvin Jones. It takes place in 1967, and McCoy Tyner had just left the John Coltrane Quartet. It was produced by Alfred Lyon, so again, he's another big producer of the time of all these Blue Note records that you see out there. It was released in October of 1967, and it is 37 minutes and 6 seconds long. So, you know, a decently long kind of jazz session album that you go through. All right, so let's take a quick look at the track listing. So on side 1, you've got Passion Dance, and then Contemplation. And, you know, one thing I love about this album is that all of the track names are very straightforward with what they are, right? So Passion Dance, a lot of energy, a lot of rhythm, a lot of enthusiasm, and more of a, you know, kind of a trance groove-like melody that's going on. And then you've got Contemplation, which is much more about, you know, reflective notes and kind of mellower music and mellower tones as you're going through. And then on side 2, you've got 4x5, Search for Peace, and Blues on the Corner. 4x5, according to the back, says it receives its title because that the melody is constructed as if there's a middle. It's in 4/4 on the outside and 5/4 on the inside. So it's one of these kind of anomalies, makes it a little bit brisker, makes it a little bit more upbeat. Then you got the Search for Peace, which again, a little bit more laid back. And then it ends with Blues on the Corner, which is a reminiscent piece about McCoy Tyner's boyhood growing up in Philadelphia. So a little bit more energy in that one to round out the album. And again, so now that we've taken a look at the tracks, let's take a look at the personnel on this record. So you've got Joe Henderson on tenor sax. Fun facts about Joe Henderson, he was also on The Sidewinder with Lee Morgan, as well as one of my favorite jazz albums, Basra by Pete LaRocca. So, you know, Joe Henderson is quite the saxophone player, and glad to see him on this. In fact, when I saw this, I kind of looked at the other artists on here, and I was like, well, I feel like I've heard of some of these guys. I've seen them on other things, so definitely want to check this out. Then you got McCoy Tyner, who again, part of the Coltrane Quintet, very much in John Coltrane's circle, growing up in Philadelphia. He has that connection, all that fun stuff. Then you got Ron Carter. And Ron Carter is interesting. He was also on, you know, he was featured on some Miles Davis records. I believe he was on ESP. He also was on Roberta Flack's first. He was also on Roberta Flack's First Take, which is really, really cool. And then you've got Elvin Jones on drums. And again, Elvin Jones was also the drummer on A Love Supreme, and very much tied in with John Coltrane and his crew in the you know, late 60s. So again, really, really fun jazz record. Sounds amazing. It's on par with the Tone Poet stuff that was put out. Again, everything I've gotten from Blue Note from this time period that have been part of these reissues have been fantastic. I believe this record retailed for around $25. I can't remember if it was 25, 28, something like that. It was under 30. Again, as you see, because it was not one of the, Stoughton tip-on jackets, not a gatefold. It's just kind of the one sleeve and then the record. So, you save a little bit on packaging if you're just into the music. The record is 33 minutes long, so that's part of it. It's a great record to have on, again, really at any time. If you're in the mood for jazz, this is a great jazz record to put on. There's a lot of energy out of the gate, and then it kind of cools off for a little bit, then some energy and kind of cools off, so it kind of has these ebbs and flows to it. So it might be nice to put on while you're having people over, or while you're making dinner, or while you're eating dinner, just to help, kind of stir the pot a little bit, so you're not listening to something that's very monotone in the back. This will have some peaks and valleys for you as you go. So again, that's the Real McCoy by McCoy Tyner. Would recommend if you're into jazz, if you're into Miles Davis and John Coltrane and Charles Mingus, Dave Brubeck, any of those guys, any of the jazz that was taken off in the mid to late '60s, any of the hard bop stuff. It's just, it's a cool record, and definitely one that I like putting on and spinning from time to time. It's one of those ones that you'll spin it and then you might run out of it and you're like, no, I'll put it on again. So definitely a double dipper, as it were. So if you made it this far in the video, thanks for watching. Please be sure to hit that like button. It helps me ride the algorithms to success, and ultimately might get us some free records out of this, who knows. And be sure to hit the subscribe button too, because we'll go through my records and we will look at what's in the package. We'll talk about any fun facts or history of the album itself, and then we'll also talk about who that music might be best suited for, or what you might want to do while the music is playing. So again, if you made it this far, thanks for watching. I'm Steve from Steve Spins Records, signing off.